Courage doesn't wait for the right time. And these 5 young stars prove that living authentically has no age limit. Welcome back to Rainbow Spotlight, where we celebrate the warriors who chose truth over comfort before they could even vote. Today we're honoring 5 incredible young people who didn't just come out before turning 18, they rewrote the entire playbook about what it means to grow up gay in the public eye. These aren't your typical celebrity coming out stories. These are the brave souls who decided their truth mattered more than Hollywood expectations, family pressure, or social media backlash. From Netflix heartthrobs to Disney Channel pioneers, each story proves that sometimes the most powerful revolution is led by someone who's barely finished high school. Number 3's YouTube coming out video literally changed how an entire generation approaches authenticity. And number 1? Their courage at just 12 years old created a ripple effect that's still changing lives today. Drop a heart emoji if you believe you're never too young to live your truth, because what we're about to reveal proves that the bravest souls often come in the smallest packages, and their impact is anything but small. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight because, honey, these young trailblazers are about to remind you that age is just a number when you're changing the world. Joe Locke, the Heartstopper star who never had a closet. When Joe Locke first appeared as Charlie Spring in Netflix's Heartstopper, he seemed perfectly cast as the sensitive, authentic teenager who could anchor one of 2022's most beloved series without generating speculation about method versus reality. Here was an 18-year-old British actor who could deliver heartbreaking performances about young gay love, while radiating the kind of genuine authenticity that made audiences believe they were watching real emotions rather than calculated acting. His portrayal earned critical acclaim, massive international recognition, and established him as one of television's most promising young stars. But what made Joe's performance so compelling wasn't just talent. It was the fact that he'd been living openly as gay since he was 12 years old, making him one of the youngest celebrities to come out publicly and stay out throughout his entire career trajectory. The authenticity speaks for itself. Never hiding his sexuality during auditions, industry meetings, or public appearances, Joe represents a new generation of young actors who refuse to compromise their identity for career opportunities. His openness about being gay since childhood has made him an unexpected role model for LGBTQ+ youth, who see possibility rather than limitation in his success story. Fellow actors and industry professionals consistently describe him as genuinely authentic in ways that inspire everyone around him, while LGBTQ+ advocates praise his natural ability to normalize young queer experiences. What makes Joe's impact so revolutionary is how effortlessly he's integrated his sexual identity with his professional success without drama, controversy, or career limitations. His approach to fame demonstrates that modern audiences and industry professionals are ready for openly gay young actors who lead with authenticity rather than hiding behind strategic ambiguity. His social media presence showcases genuine joy, authentic relationships, and meaningful advocacy that feels natural rather than performative. The internet has embraced Joe's authentic approach to public life and his refusal to make his sexuality the central focus of his career narrative. His interviews reveal someone who views his openness as normal rather than revolutionary, creating space for other young actors to follow suit without feeling pressure to make grand statements. His advocacy work with LGBTQ+ youth organizations has resulted in meaningful partnerships and educational content that supports young people navigating similar experiences. What's most compelling about Joe's influence is how he's proven that authentic representation can coexist with commercial success and mainstream appeal. His Heartstopper success has opened doors for similar projects featuring young LGBTQ+ characters, while his personal authenticity has encouraged other young actors to prioritize genuine self-expression over career strategy. His upcoming projects show clear commitment to meaningful storytelling and authentic representation. The most remarkable aspect of Joe's journey is how he's normalized the concept of young people living openly without dramatic coming-out narratives or identity crises. His approach to fame prioritizes genuine connection, meaningful work, and authentic self-expression over traditional celebrity management. Industry observers note his substantial influence on casting decisions, content creation, and authentic LGBTQ+ storytelling that centers young experiences without exploitation or sensationalism. Whether through his groundbreaking performance in Heartstopper, his authentic approach to public life, or simply his courage to exist openly as a young gay person from childhood through international stardom, Joe represents something beautiful about contemporary youth culture. Proof that the most powerful representation comes from people who never had to pretend to be someone else, and whose authenticity creates space for others to exist just as openly. Drop a 1 if Joe Locke's lifelong authenticity proves that the most beautiful revolution is the one where young people never have to come out because they were never in. Noah Schnapp, the Stranger Things star who made it stranger and better. When Noah Schnapp first joined Stranger Things as Will Byers, he seemed perfectly cast as the sensitive, artistic kid who could anchor the show's emotional core, while the older characters handled the romantic storylines. Here was a 13-year-old actor who could deliver complex performances about trauma, friendship, and growing up different in ways that resonated with millions of viewers worldwide. His portrayal across 4 seasons earning Screen Actors Guild nominations and establishing the series as Netflix's flagship show with over 1.3 billion hours viewed globally. But as Will's character increasingly struggled with unspoken feelings and identity questions, fans began speculating about connections between character and actor. In January 2023, at 18, Noah made a TikTok that would validate every fan theory and prove that sometimes art really does imitate life. The coming out moment was perfectly timed and brilliantly executed. Noah's TikTok video featured him lip-syncing to audio that said, "You know what it never was? That's serious. It was never that serious. Quite frankly, we'll never be that serious," before revealing text that read, "When I finally told my friends and family I was gay after being scared in the closet for 18 years. The video generated over 50 million views within 48 hours, trending globally across multiple platforms, and overwhelming support from fans who had suspected the connection between Will's journey and Noah's personal experience. What makes Noah's coming out so culturally significant is how it validated years of fan speculation and proved that authentic representation often comes from actors who understand the characters they're portraying on a deeply personal level. His performance as Will Byers, particularly in Season 4, when the character grapples with unspoken feelings for his best friend Mike, took on new meaning as audiences realized they had been watching someone channel their own experiences of young gay love and identity confusion. The internet embraced Noah's authentic revelation with unprecedented positivity. His subsequent interviews revealed someone relieved to finally speak openly about experiences that had informed his acting for years. His social media became a celebration of young gay joy, featuring pride content, advocacy posts, and behind-the-scenes moments that showed someone genuinely happy to be living authentically. Comments sections filled with messages from young fans thanking him for showing them that being gay doesn't limit career possibilities. What's most powerful about Noah's influence is how he's used his Stranger Things platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ youth, while honoring the character that helped him understand his own identity. His choice to come out at 18, technically qualifying for our before 18 inches theme since he lived closeted throughout his teenage years, represents millions of young people who spend their high school years questioning and exploring identity before finding courage to speak their truth. The most remarkable aspect of Noah's journey is how he's proven that authentic LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream media often requires actors who genuinely understand the experiences they're portraying. His continued success with Stranger Things and his upcoming projects demonstrate that coming out can strengthen rather than limit young actors' career possibilities. Industry observers note his impact on discussions about authentic casting and meaningful representation in contemporary television. Whether through his groundbreaking performance as Will Byers, his authentic coming out moment, or simply his courage to live openly after years of questioning, Noah represents something hopeful about young LGBTQ+ representation, proof that authentic storytelling and personal truth can coexist beautifully, and that sometimes the best performances come from actors brave enough to channel their own experiences into characters who need that authenticity. Drop a 2 if Noah Schnapp's Stranger Things journey proves that sometimes the most powerful coming out stories happen when art and life finally get to tell the same truth. Troye Sivan, the YouTube pioneer who sang his way out. When Troye Sivan first started uploading bedroom pop covers to YouTube as a 15-year-old from Perth, Australia, he seemed destined to remain a talented hobbyist with a beautiful voice and boy-next-door charm. Here was a teenager who could craft melodies that made hearts ache, collaborate with fellow YouTubers, and build a devoted online following through genuine artistic expression. His early covers and original songs accumulated millions of views, established him as part of YouTube's creative renaissance, and proved that bedroom musicians could reach global audiences without traditional industry support. But Troye's real breakthrough wasn't just musical, it was personal. His decision to come out to his family at 15 and publicly at 18 through a 2013 YouTube video would establish him as one of the first major digital natives to build a career on authentic queer representation. The coming out journey was gradual and thoughtful. Troye first came out to his family at 15, spending 3 years processing, growing, and preparing before sharing his truth with his global audience. His August 2013 YouTube video coming out was revolutionary for its simplicity and authenticity. No dramatic music, elaborate production, or calculated timing. Just a young man speaking honestly about his identity and experiences to an audience that had supported his artistic journey. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with millions of views and thousands of supportive comments from fans who felt seen and inspired by his courage. What makes Troye's cultural impact so significant is how he pioneered the model of authentic queer representation in digital media before major platforms, record labels, or mainstream media were actively supporting LGBTQ+ content. His success proved that authentic queer artists could build sustainable careers through direct audience connection rather than traditional industry gatekeeping. His transition from YouTube covers to original music to global pop stardom demonstrated that authentic identity could be commercially successful rather than career-limiting. The internet embraced Troye's honest approach to sexuality and artistic expression. His music evolution from bedroom pop to sophisticated electronic music consistently explored themes of queer love, identity exploration, and authentic self-expression that resonated with young audiences seeking representation. His albums Blue Neighborhood and Bloom contained explicitly queer themes and stunning visual storytelling that normalized gay sexuality for millions of young listeners worldwide. What's most compelling about Troye's influence is how he's used his platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ youth while maintaining his artistic integrity and commercial success. His choice to come out gradually, first to family at 15, then publicly at 18, created a template for young people navigating their own identity journeys. His continued success in music, acting, and advocacy demonstrates that early authentic representation can build rather than limit long-term career possibilities. The most remarkable aspect of Troye's journey is how he's proven that young LGBTQ+ artists can achieve global success while remaining completely authentic about their identity and experiences. His approach to fame prioritizes genuine artistic expression, community connection, and meaningful representation over traditional celebrity management. Industry observers note his substantial influence on how young artists approach authenticity, identity sharing, and building sustainable careers on genuine self-expression. Whether through his pioneering YouTube content, his beautiful music evolution, or simply his courage to share his truth at such a young age, Troye represents something vital about contemporary LGBTQ+ culture, proof that authentic representation doesn't wait for industry permission, and that sometimes the most powerful voices belong to young people brave enough to speak their truth before the world tells them it's safe. Drop a 3 of Troye Sivan's digital age coming out proves that sometimes the most beautiful revolution starts with someone young enough to believe that authenticity and success can coexist perfectly. Joshua Rush, the Disney star who made history before history class. When Joshua Rush first appeared as Cyrus Goodman on Disney Channel's Andy Mack, he seemed perfectly cast as the quirky, supportive best friend who could deliver comedic relief and genuine emotion in equal measure. Here was a 16-year-old actor who could anchor Disney's most groundbreaking series with authentic performances that made families laugh and cry simultaneously. His portrayal across 3 seasons established Andy Mack as Disney Channel's most critically acclaimed original series, earning GLAAD Media Awards and proving that family entertainment could tackle complex identity themes with sophistication and heart. But what made Joshua's performance so compelling wasn't just talent. It was the authentic experience he brought to playing television's first gay main character on Disney Channel, and his decision to come out publicly at 16 in 2018, making him one of the youngest Disney stars to share his truth while still actively representing the network's wholesome image. The coming out moment was perfectly timed and beautifully handled. In December 2018, Joshua used Instagram and Twitter to share his truth with simple but powerful language. "From the day I was born, I was Cyrus Goodman. Before I ever said a word, I was him." And if you've watched the show, you know that Cyrus's relationship with his own identity has been a big part of his arc. Well, I'm ready to talk about mine. The announcement generated millions of positive responses from fans, fellow Disney stars, and LGBTQ+ advocates who praised his courage and the groundbreaking representation he had provided. What makes Joshua's cultural impact so revolutionary is how he proved that Disney Channel could support authentic LGBTQ+ representation without losing family-friendly appeal or commercial success. His character's coming-out storyline on Andy Mack was handled with remarkable sensitivity, featuring age-appropriate discussions about identity, family acceptance, and authentic self-expression that educated young viewers while entertaining entire families. The show's success demonstrated that authentic representation could enhance rather than complicate Disney's brand messaging. The internet embraced Joshua's authentic approach to sharing his identity and using his platform for meaningful advocacy. His social media presence became a celebration of young gay joy, family acceptance, and genuine LGBTQ+ pride that felt natural rather than performative. His continued work with Disney and his advocacy for LGBTQ+ youth demonstrated that coming out as a teenager could strengthen rather than limit career opportunities when handled with authenticity and family support. What's most powerful about Joshua's influence is how he's used his Disney platform to create meaningful change in family entertainment while maintaining the joy and positivity that made him beloved. His choice to come out at 16 while actively working for Disney challenged industry assumptions about young LGBTQ+ representation and proved that authentic storytelling could coexist with commercial success. His continued success and advocacy work have influenced Disney's approach to diverse representation across multiple platforms. The most remarkable aspect of Joshua's journey is how he's proven that young LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream family entertainment requires authentic voices and genuine experiences rather than tokenistic inclusion. His approach to fame prioritizes meaningful representation, community building, and authentic self-expression over traditional celebrity management. Industry observers note his substantial influence on Disney's casting decisions, content creation, and approach to authentic LGBTQ+ storytelling for young audiences. Whether through his groundbreaking performance on Andy Mack, his courageous coming out at 16, or simply his commitment to using his platform for positive change, Joshua represents something beautiful about contemporary Disney representation. Proof that authentic storytelling and genuine identity can create content that changes hearts, opens minds, and makes every family more understanding and accepting. Drop a 4 if Joshua Rush's Disney courage proves that the most magical coming-out stories happen when young people choose authenticity over image management, even in the most wholesome corners of entertainment. Lachlan Watson, the Sabrina star who conjured change. When Lachlan Watson first appeared as Theo Putnam in Netflix's chilling adventures of Sabrina, they seemed perfectly cast as the confident, artistic teenager who could navigate supernatural chaos while grounding the series in authentic teenage experiences. Here was a young actor who could deliver complex performances about identity, friendship, and growing up different in ways that resonated with audiences seeking genuine representation. Their portrayal across 4 seasons established Sabrina as one of Netflix's most inclusive supernatural series. But what made Lachlan's impact so significant wasn't just their acting talent. It was their decision to live openly as non-binary from the very beginning of their career, making them one of the youngest non-binary actors to achieve mainstream success while advocating fearlessly for authentic LGBTQ+ representation. The authenticity speaks for itself. Never hiding their identity during auditions, interviews, or public appearances, Lachlan represents a new generation of young performers who refuse to compromise their truth for career opportunities. Their openness about being non-binary and their advocacy for trans and non-binary youth has made them an unexpected role model for LGBTQ plus young people who see possibility rather than limitation in their success story. Fellow actors and industry professionals consistently describe them as genuinely inspiring in ways that create space for others, while LGBTQ plus advocates praise their natural ability to educate while entertaining. What makes Lachlan's cultural impact so revolutionary is how effortlessly they've integrated non-binary representation into mainstream entertainment without making their identity the sole focus of their career narrative. Their approach to fame demonstrates that modern audiences and industry professionals are ready for openly non-binary young actors who lead with authenticity while delivering compelling performances. Their social media presence showcases genuine advocacy, authentic experiences, and meaningful LGBTQ plus education that feels natural rather than obligatory. The internet has embraced Lachlan's authentic approach to public life and their refusal to minimize their advocacy for trans and non-binary youth. Their interviews reveal someone who views their platform as opportunity for meaningful change rather than personal promotion. Their work with LGBTQ plus organizations, educational initiatives, and advocacy campaigns has resulted in real impact for young people navigating identity questions and seeking representation. What's most compelling about Lachlan's influence is how they've used their Sabrina success to advocate for systemic change in entertainment while building a career on authentic self-expression. Their choice to remain openly non-binary while pursuing mainstream success has encouraged other young actors to prioritize genuine identity over strategic image management. Their upcoming projects show clear commitment to meaningful storytelling and authentic representation. The most remarkable aspect of Lachlan's journey is how they've normalized the concept of young, non-binary actors achieving mainstream success without dramatic identity reveals or career limitations. Their approach to fame prioritizes community building, meaningful advocacy, and authentic representation over traditional celebrity metrics. Industry observers note their substantial influence on casting decisions, content creation, and authentic LGBTQ plus storytelling that centers non-binary experiences without tokenism or exploitation. Whether through their groundbreaking performance in Sabrina, their fearless advocacy work, or simply their courage to exist openly as a non-binary person from the very beginning of their career, Lachlan represents something vital about contemporary youth culture. Proof that authentic representation doesn't wait for industry permission, and that sometimes the most powerful change comes from young people brave enough to be themselves completely from day one. Drop a 5 if Lachlan Watson's authentic journey proves that the most magical transformation happens when young people choose to live their truth from the very beginning, creating space for everyone who comes after them. From Joe Locke's lifelong authenticity to Noah Schnapp's Stranger Things revelation, from Troye Sivan's YouTube pioneering to Joshua Rush's Disney courage, and Lachlan Watson's non-binary trailblazing, these 5 young stars proved that authenticity has no minimum age requirement. Each story reminds us that the most powerful coming-out moments often happen not when the world is ready, but when young people decide they're ready to stop waiting for permission to be themselves. These aren't just celebrity stories, they're declarations of independence from a world that told them to hide, to wait, to be smaller than their truth demanded. Whether through groundbreaking performances, authentic social media, pioneering digital content, historic Disney representation, or fearless non-binary visibility, each young person redefined what it means to grow up LGBTQ plus in the public eye. Their collective impact proves that Generation Z isn't just the future. They're actively reshaping the present, one authentic moment at a time. They've shown the world that young LGBTQ plus voices don't just deserve to be heard. They deserve to lead, to inspire, and to change everything for the countless young people watching from home, wondering if their truth matters too. Which young pioneer's courage resonated most with your own journey? Drop your numbers 1 through 5 and tell us where you're watching from. because these stories are reshaping what it means to be young, queer, and powerful before your 18th birthday. If you believe the future belongs to people brave enough to live authentically from childhood, smash that like button. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight for more celebrations of young voices changing the world. Remember, you're never too young to be authentic, never too small to make a difference, and never too early to start living your complete truth. Because these 5 stars prove that sometimes the most important revolutions are led by people who haven't even graduated high school yet. This is Rainbow Spotlight, where young courage changes everything.